Yo, what is up? Will and Cannon here with Flock Sports Betting. We're gonna be looking at the NBA games today. Massive slate. Quick recap. Yeah, we can go through a quick recap of the props we had for yesterday. We had Bogdanovich over 17.5 points. That hits. Fox over 1.5 3-point. I think that was that a first half hit. I think he was 2 for 2. I think in the first half.
Yeah, I think he was 2 for 3 on the game, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Got the hit, didn't get the volume, but it's a dub. And then the Sabonis over 19.5 did not hit in that game. But 2 for 3. 2 for 3, all right. And we move. And we're going to be looking at the props for today. We're going to start off with the Miami Heat versus the Wizards. And this one is an interesting one. A ton of injuries for the Heat. Jimmy with some knee soreness. Harrow's out. Bam is probably not going to play. He's, missed the last game. He's questionable for this one as well. So this one's a 216.5 total. Wizards are 6-point favorites in this one. Ton of injuries. But we'll take a look. We'll pull it up here. I'm going to refresh. We were missing some of these Heat lines earlier, obviously with all the injuries that we're dealing with. And, even though Jimmy and Harrow are out, Bam is still questionable. So it's looking like... Yeah, it's looking like it's just Wizards guys. But I guess, with all the injuries to the Heat on the Wizards side, are there any of these guys who you think are really appealing? I mean, the Heat, it's a different Heat team, right, than you anticipate. Like, defensively across the board, especially with no Jimmy, no Bam, probably no Bam as well. I think he's questionable, so we'll see. I mean, you got KP at 19.5. I'll kind of throw it up there. That's the thumbnail guy. Good value on that one.
Yeah, really good value. My only fear is that this is a blowout. In Washington, who is pretty much all healthy.
Yeah.
I think Miami's does just naturally have good depth anyway. So the guys that they're going to put out there aren't going to be scrubs by any means. But I think talent-wise, they're pretty severely matched, and their best defenders are all out. So I really like this KP line at 19.5. I think it's good value, but I'm just worried that come the fourth quarter, the Wizards are up by 12 to 15. They don't play, that rotation hits and KP doesn't come back in.
Yeah.
Or they're just fine with matching the Heat depth and playing Gafford for more minutes than KP. But I mean, maybe that's why the 19.5 line is down to where it is. So I like KP points, maybe Kuzma points, but
because I think your concerns are going to be pretty across the board, right? For these like top 3 Wizards guys like Beal, KP, and Kuz. I think at the line specifically, that Kuz at 17.5 is kind of appealing. I think I probably lean KP at 19.5. Like, I don't think the 2-point discount for Kuz from a like consistency standpoint I'm like in love with, but let me know if you think differently.
Yeah, I'm looking at Monty Morris assist lines. I'm looking at the guys. They don't have the French guys up. They have like Morris and Barton, but this feels like a good game to go on those French guys or kind of 6 men, because I think all the upside is theirs for more. I think they'll play their usual minutes with like a better upside of playing more. So like a guy like Will Barton at 8.5 points, I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah.
I think he'll get his usual minutes, and then in a game like this against like a team that's very banged up, he has upside to get into the 20s for minutes. But his usage is pretty poor even in games that he has played higher minutes.
I've got I got Monty Morris up here. Just at that 4.5 assist line. Like, do you think in a blowout, you think Monty Morris, could still be a candidate to lose some minutes? I think you definitely lean KP, Beal, KP, Kuz, and Beal are the guys who are like for sure massive blowout, aren't going to touch the floor in that like final stretch.
Yeah. I think Morris will probably.
He's kind of like a halfway. I think it's really rotational based, like where it's at in the game and everything. But yeah,
I think with Goodwin being out, actually that's a big deal, because Goodwin does usually eat a lot of random. So I kind of like Monty Morris here tonight.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, he's got 4.5. We can take a peek at PRA too. I mean, he's averaging 5 assists on the season.
17.5. It's about a pick 'em at 17.5 for his PRA. I don't really love that.
Yeah,
I think I might go assist 4.5.
I think that'd probably be. I don't think it's like a smash, like I'm in love with it, but I think that would probably be where I would go. What about Beal at 5.5? I know we've been pretty big Beal assist guys. Just him this season. He's been 5.7 assists. He's been little over 11 potential per game, and I think we've just kind of seen a lot more facilitating from Beal. Do you like that, or same kind of worries for you in this game?
No, I like 5.5. I mean,
I
you
think
can
it's a good
tell
line.
that this good line. There's a lot of value on the over there on other books as well, so you're getting good value on underdog. Um, yeah, I actually might like that more than Morris.
Yeah, I think so too. Slightly. Like I know, I think the whole like blowout factor, like we do have to remember, it is a 6 point spread, right? So we're not planning for a blowout, but it's just in some of these games where you're missing so many key players, and you know the other team has all their studs. It's something that can happen for sure. I don't think the Wizards are the kind of team where I'm like terrified of, you know, the Miami secondary unit just like dusting them completely, because I agree with you. I think Miami secondary unit, honestly, even like 1 through 5, they have guys that you know, are solid enough to be a starter on a team somewhere. So
Yeah,
I'm not like terrified.
I think Biosis is a good shout. I just think it's too big of a slate for me to like lock this in as one of my plays. If I think the big thing is for me is like the Heat. Like if the Heat had lines of their guys that are going to be starting, like a Jovic or a Martin or what Strus, like I would love to look at those, but you know, there's just so many injuries. We're not going to see that probably until like 6 p.m.
Yeah, so we can kind of keep it moving. You know, I don't want to belabor. Belabor?
Yeah,
is that a word?
Blabber, because that's what you're doing.
all right. Shut. No. Charlotte, Cleveland, big injury. So LaMelo rolled that ankle. The X-rays were, I believe, were negative, is what I saw, but he's going to be out for this one. And Dennis Smith is doubtful as well. So I think this is kind of an interesting spot for Terry. And I'm really curious at what these lines have kind of shaken out to be. I know I was peeking earlier, and some of these lines weren't up with injury stuff, but it's a 221 total. 9-point spread, but some pretty key injuries for Charlotte. So
this is 0 lines up right now
for either.
Well, 2. Garland and Mitchell is all we got. So which we could talk about.
Yeah, and I think it's Jared Allen. I think is the, you know, waiting to see on him. So obviously you're not going to see an Allen line or a Mobley. So that's kind of the reason for that, and that's kind of a bigger impact. So yeah, we can quick peek and talk about these guys.
Kind of low lines.
Yeah, I mean, this one definitely I think is more of a blowout watch for me with these two teams. No LaMelo, no Dennis Smith. It's going to be the Terry, and how many threes can Oubre make out of his 12 attempts?
Yeah, I mean 22.5 for Garland. Like I'm not scared of a blowout for that line. Like
I mean, what about even Donovan Mitchell at 25.5? Are you like I feel pretty like I like both of those.
Yeah.
You like Garland more, just at the 3-point discount?
I think so. I think they're both like can both shoot like 20 times. Like Garland's going to shoot close to 20 times. With like, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 threes, and then hit the line. He shoots. I like his matchup better.
Yeah, his volume. I know. I think the thing I do want to shout out. Like I think I could sit here and say the expectation is a guy like Donovan Mitchell like is less of a passer assist guy as Garland is, just like in these games this season with both of these guys. But Garland's been shooting a super high volume even with high assist numbers. I mean, if you're looking at Garland, I mean, Donovan Mitchell's going to have more usage, but like, okay, 51-point game, we don't have to talk about that one, but you know, 20 shots, 8 assists, 19 shots, 8 assists, had that, you know, that Kings game, 8 assists, you know, 1 for 9, but 12 assists, 17 shots, 7 assists, 18 shots, 12 assists, 20 shots. Like the volume is there with the assists. I know Mitchell had a game there, but what are you oohing? See something?
Yeah, I was really hoping there was like a first half points line for these guys.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, I like both their points lines.
Yeah,
because I get it's gonna. I get there's a blowout watch, but I think this is it's a high pace matchup for Cleveland. Charlotte's not as high pace without LaMelo, right? But I think Cleveland is still one of the slower paced teams, so I guess I need my
pace up.
Or pace up spot. Yeah, sorry. But
8 flat assist line for Garland. You think you'd rather go points there? 8 flat. It's kind of.
Yeah.
I think it's a good line. Like like if I had to pick like 2 other plays, Donovan Mitchell 4.5 isn't bad either. I think these are both good lines, but I'd probably go Garland points over assists. What's up?
Yeah, I feel better about both their points over both their assists. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to happen in this game? It's going to be one of those random LeVert games. His one game of the month. It's going to be LeVert's game of the month. Is like, all right, here's LeVert's 30 bomb. Now go back into your hole.
It's do we have what's the count? Because I feel like you can we might be able to look at LeVert's. Let me just type in LeVert stats here. How many games are we removed from that 41? So we got 41, 1, 15, 15, 12, 4, 21, 11, 13, 2. There's a little bit of a 3-game pattern that we have before LeVert has his 2 points.
His game log of points is just like a bell curve. Like up and then down and then going back up. Let's keep moving. We're still waiting on Charlotte.
Too many games to sit here and make fun of LeVert for 15 minutes.
Yeah, he's a Michigan man. What am I doing here?
Yeah, it's messed up, man. All right, we're down here to Bucks Sixers. Still no Middleton. It's a 1-point spread. 212 total. Can you look up Drew here while I'm getting this game set up? But I think, a lot of the same injury stuff that we expect for this game. But let me get this up and let me know the latest that we've seen on Drew.
Drew Holiday is questionable, right ankle sprain 16 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not going to see any of the guards for the Bucks, but we will see. We do have some Giannis, Brook Lopez.
Yeah,
and then
16 minutes ago from the 76ers beat writer. So he could just be pulling our leg if he's talking about the Bucks guys. But I would imagine he's on top of it. So still question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've
got the top 3 Sixers guys, and then just the Brook and Giannis. It's probably going to be for just the bigs.
Yeah. What's I'm curious as to what. So Embiid's at 29.5. What's his rebound line at? I swear I click on the same thing every time, but every time I pull up the drop down, it's just I can't find it. But it's always in the same spot.
Yep. So Embiid, he is at 11 flats.
I don't hate it. It's really annoying. It's 11 flat. He's got good success in the rebounding area against the Bucks.
Yeah.
Historically, he's ever since he's been in the league, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's hit or covered that line 10 out of 13.
Yeah. He I think where's he at? He's right at 12 rebounds a game against the Bucks and 12 rebounds exactly against Giannis.
Yep. And you love going rebounds.
I do. I mean, I will say that I'm more apt to go rebounds for guys I know will be there. I feel like it's kind of like a personal philosophy thing, but I know a lot of people try to take advantage of guards who have 3.5, 4.5 rebound lines, and they're like, he just needs to grab 4 of those. Those feel so coin flippy to me. And I know player props can feel coin flippy in general because, if you're hitting above 52%, you're doing really well. But I really want to avoid any kind of thing that's just rebounds are already a little random. So why am I adding more random to it by taking low line guards?
Well, I was gonna say I thought Giannis said 11 flat too. He said 11.5.
Mm-hmm. Man, Brook at 5 flat is so funny to me, but you just can't love it. It's just crazy. There's just some guys that it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't it just not make sense that Brook Lopez isn't a better rebound per minute guy for the Bucks? I guess it is the Bucks, but still, it's so weird to me. All right, I'm gonna peek over at assists here. I know we're not gonna see Drew or anything. I'll talk about the lowest. You remember all the conversations we used to have about 0.5 assist players? Those crack me up because it's dude, he just needs one guy to shoot when he catches the pass. Maxey at 5 flats, Embiid at 5 flats. I'd probably rather go rebounds.
I kind of like Maxey points. 21, 22.5. It seems
how Drew impacted is that for you?
It's it's a culmination of things. I don't have to worry about Drew on him. Excuse me, for one. For two, I think if you're the Bucks, you're just like, all right, like Giannis, you're on Embiid, and we're trying to shut down Embiid and everything else. Like,
yeah,
Giannis is going to be on Embiid. That's no question. Like, or on or around him. Giannis is not going to see Maxey hardly ever in this game.
yeah.
So now you're left with guys like Grayson Allen, Javon Carter.
So you're speaking from this from a Drew doesn't play perspective.
Yeah, I'm speaking of like Tyrese Maxey is going to have to clean up for their defensive attention on Embiid, and he'll have to be the one to step up to fill up the points in the scoring role, and Drew is not there to like stifle that as much. So I kind of like that. It's just high, 22 and a half, and what should be a high, like a pretty good defensive game.
Yeah, the total isn't amazing. I know, like, I think he's averaging 20 points per game in games without Harden this season, but some of that's been some pretty, like, inefficient shooting games. Like, 20 points, but, like, the volume's really good. So field goals, right, 29, 18, 17, 18, 24. He's had some, like, 22, 29% games that are kind of pushing that total down. So I think, like, normal shooting Maxey without Harden should be around 23, 24, 25. So I think even in this game, I think it's still a good shout.
Yeah, it's just annoying how high that line is.
I do love that Giannis and Embiid have the same line, their points line.
And like the same rebound line too is funny.
It's kind of sick.
It is. I don't know, like they're high lines for a game that should be like a really good defensive matchup, a lower total. I don't think the pace is going to be anything crazy. Yeah. Like both these teams, Milwaukee's below middle of the table right now, and Philly's second to last. So
yeah,
little strange. Do I want to go under on anybody? Do I want to go under on a guy that just dropped 59? No.
Right. It's kind of interesting because I know. So you look at this Giannis line at 29.5. I know the game is a lower total, which kind of makes you feel like, okay, this is why it's not at a 31.5, and it's Embiid. But Giannis has been. I mean, he historically has been really, really good against Embiid. I think he's like 32 plus points per game, like in 12 games, and I mean what we're seeing this season too. So I don't know. Would you prefer Giannis or Embiid if you had to pick one? And then we can kind of move on from here.
I'd probably go Embiid.
Yeah.
But I don't. There's nothing here that's speaking to me, and so then there's no value that I'm seeing. So let's just move on. Let's find some value.
All right. Hey, I'll make it happen, Captain. All right. Next game. You just wanted to talk about Chicago, Orlando.
Yeah, give me
Bulls Magic. No Banchero again tonight. Still no Anthony. Suggs had like the ankle issue, but he's all good. No major injuries for Chicago. This one is a 220.5 total, 8.5 point spread for doubles.
Doubles.
Okay, let's pull this up here. All right. Revenge game.
I'm surprised. For who? Vooch. Actually,
Vooch revenge game.
I think Vooch does do really well against the Magic.
I think so too. That's what made me think of it, but I don't know if it's actually true. He's at 15.5.
It's not that great.
Okay. All right, DeMar's at 24.5. You got Levine at 23.5. Vooch at 15.5. Wendell at 16.5.
What's Vooch rebounds at?
And Boble at
10.5. Oh yeah. Yeah. Give me Vooch 10.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Right now.
Just give it to you.
That is what I'm looking for on this slate. Like, this is why I don't go like, do I like the 11 flat rebounds for Embiid? It's kind of scary. Sure, no. Just move on. You don't have to play every player in the game tonight. Find the guy like Vooch, who's been one of the best rebounding bigs in the league right now.
Yeah.
At 10.5 in a game where he should be on the court for a good amount of it against his former team. The revenge narrative is there. But 10.5 is a very, very good line.
Oh no, yeah, I think it's a good line naturally for him. I know it's like this Magic team is a little bit different, but obviously some of the guys that make it different aren't there. But yeah, for the Bulls, I mean, since he's been on the Bulls, I think I want to say I was about to say he's 11 plus rebounds, but it's even better because one of those includes a 22-minute game where he had 5 boards. But his Bulls versus Magic game going back to 2021. So, I mean, if you just look last season, 18, 13, 13. Wait, no, sorry. 13, 13, 17. And this season he's been really good. I like that. Are you worried about a blowout at all? Is that your only worry? Just a Magic team without Banchero against this Bulls team?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
Not enough where it's like by the time it's like maybe at the end of the game. Like I think if it's a blowout, it's close enough for that last rotation to hit.
Yeah. This is when player prop people goes, if it's a blowout, that means the Magic have missed a lot of shots, which means Vucevic has grabbed enough rebounds.
Yeah, low key, good point.
Play smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
All right. Any of these? So I know we kind of like glossed over the points. I hate doing this. It feels like a cop out, but I think a lot of the points lines are just like very fair for like what this game should be. But let me know if any of those jump out for you.
We're here for lines. We're here for picks. Boo. No, I agree. I mean, some of these lines are kind of like making me want to go under on them.
Right. And that's I think that's where my like fair call is, right? Because it's just kind of like, yeah.
Sometimes you just don't get value sitting in front of your face, you know. Kind of like LaVine though. I would go LaVine.
You like LaVine, you really do.
I do. Yeah. I do like LaVine. I like what I'm seeing from him. He's shooting just as much or more than DeRozan, and he's shooting less efficient than DeRozan, but having just as many points. It's like, okay, how does that work? He's shooting more. He's getting to the line. He's shooting more threes, right? He's doing things with lower lines, and a lot of times that's more favorable matchups, which I think this could be one of those times where he has a more favorable matchup. Yeah. I think with DeRozan, because specifically in this game, right? If you think of DeRozan getting buckets, right? What is he doing? How's he scoring? Tell me how he's scoring. Mid-range. Gets to the elbow in mid-range pull-up. That scares the crap out of me against a lengthy team like this that's going to be under the basket. Yeah. And you have Bol and Wendell Carter. He's going to get to that elbow, and you have a guy that's got like a 12-foot wingspan jumping out at that elbow. Like I think Orlando is poised to disrupt him a bit more.
And I think defensively too. I mean, DeMar just has way more situations where he's like eliminated from a possession than LaVine does. So I know like you look at these lines being so close, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's DeMar easy. But like if you look at the season, I mean, DeMar and LaVine have been real close in just points per game when they're playing, overall field goal attempts. Offensive usage has been pretty close. So yeah, I don't hate that even at that 23.5 line.
Yeah, these are 2 lines that I like. I do like a lot. I'm
gonna keep it moving to a pretty fun game. We all love a fun game here, right? How about a 236.5 total? How does that sound?
Feels good to me.
236.5 total, 5-point spread. Pacers, Rockets. This is like these are the games that like I live for.
And Hallie too.
Of course, I didn't have to mention it, but I appreciate.
Oh, it's another Miles Turner. Did they get some respect on Miles Turner?
16.5.
Nope. No respect.
No respect,
dude. It
is kind of interesting though. So we're only seeing. Yeah, KPJ is questionable, so we're only seeing Pacers lines here. 19.5 Hallie. You've got a 16.5 Turner. I do think that's good. Buddy, I just can't. I don't hate it, but I just can't play Buddy at 18.5.
Hi, Buddy. Ben Mathurin's not bad at 17.5 either.
Right, he's not an underdog, but
man, Tyrese Haliburton 11 flat assists.
He's probably gonna just hit it too, right? Or he's probably gonna push. Is just what you expect from him.
What a dog.
He's tough, right? I feel like he's a guy who I want to play a lot, but he does get the respect at least.
Oh yeah.
Across the board from like lines, like all of his stuff has been really, really fair with what he's been doing. I mean, do you even want to talk Hallie? Like I feel like 12 assists to hit is just really tough to count on. It is a very nice pace up spot. Does any part of you like his points at 19.5 because it doesn't feel that juiced?
Yeah, I like it at 19.5. I think I like his kind of. I think his play style and his athleticism and body type kind of matches up well against his team. I think he could push the ball with the quick guards of KPJ and Jalen Green if KPJ plays.
Yeah.
But he can also slow it down if he needs to. So I like Halliburton in this matchup. I do think KPJ is a sneaky good defender though, but I think Halliburton's just as fine.
He's questionable. We'll see if he. I don't know if you want to do a quick peek on any recent KPJ reports, but I assume he's just game time decision questionable. We'll see. But yeah, I think Hallie, I wish we were seeing more volume, right? But obviously, like, it's hard to ask for that when he's just averaging like 10 plus assists a game. But still, I mean, he's averaging 20 points on not crazy volume, and he's shooting. The threes are kind of making up for that. So that is kind of a nice thing. I think this is a really good game too.
Okay, we've got from the Rockets beat writer, we've got KPJ is still questionable left low back. Soreness 30 minutes ago, so no update there yet.
Gotcha.
Miles Turner, I think, is my favorite play here. Yeah. Man, what a turnaround! What a redemption arc for me on Miles Turner here, man. I couldn't stand him, but he has been scoring well, and this is another matchup that's so favorable. Like, he was at 15.5, I think, the last time we took him, and he hit. And I loved it, and it's only 1 point higher, so I still love this.
In probably a better game, like you know, he shot efficiently, but it's like, I mean, that's kind of what you expect from, maybe not Turner like career long wise, but I think with this team, right, he just gets so many good looks.
Yep, I love taking the fives against Houston bigs.
Miles Turner over blocks. I think this is kind of one of those games where like. There's certain games where you just like feel like you just like overs. This feels like such a nice just overall pace game.
Oh, that's such a good shout though, because the Houston loves to turn it over. They play fast, they attack the rim, 2.5 blocks. Yeah, 2.5 blocks is a line right now in certain books with not great odds, like minus 160. So.
All right, the value is just annoying on these books, right? Because when you look at like minus 150 plays, you have to think about like payout for something that has such variance, right? It just doesn't feel super worth. No, like if that was an underdog line, that's a smash. So I do like that shot.
Yeah, I love the over at 2.5 there, but it's not an underdog right now. I also really like the.
It'd probably be 3 flat.
Give me over 16 for him. And yeah, no Houston guys, so I'm good to move on from that. Yeah. Again, I don't feel great about, like, I like Halliburton's 19.5 line.
Yeah.
But I don't feel great about him shooting 20 times to get there.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where, like, part of me wants to say, like, man, Hallie can just have these games where he's more aggressive, but you just can't ignore what we've seen from this season. It's just been, I mean, if he's averaging 10 plus assists, he's shooting decent volume from 3, but overall, if he's not shooting more than like 18 times a game, it's just hard for him to get there. Do you like Hallie points and assist line? It's just really hard, I think, because when you look at those kind of lines, you're shooting for like massive upside, and his assist line's already up at 11 flat on the books, right? So like for him to have upside on top of that is a lot to ask for, and then kind of the same deal with what we just talked about for his points, right?
Yeah, I like his points like better than his assists. Yeah. I'm starting to warm up to his points more, but I feel better about Turner. Right?
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, next game here, we've got OKC Memphis. This one is a 231 total. Another nice total, nice pace up game for OKC. 5.5 spread for Memphis. It's a pretty interesting game too. Injury wise, no Bane and no Trey Mann. I guess those are probably the biggest ones. So we can let's pull this up.
Yeah, Ja Morant's at 30.5, man.
Still lower than Shea.
Give me a break.
Crazy.
Oh, Shea's at 31.5.
I know, right? That was my first thought when you said that. You said Ja Morant's at, and it was like Shea is probably higher somehow. It's so crazy. I can't. These are the kind of like I don't know. I don't know what I want to say about this because it feels so disingenuous to just like ignore it and be like, yeah, it's too high for me to like feel comfortable. But that's honestly it. Like I think Shea can just average 30 plus points in these really good games, but I don't know, man. It's just so high.
I compare it to like a heat check. Like if you
Right.
are like watching a game and a guy is on fire, right?
Yeah.
And he's shooting and shooting and shooting. It's like, okay, if he's coming up with the ball and he's looking to shoot, are you gonna like in a league average on a season long basis, like if he's pulling up from 38 feet, like yeah, I don't think he'll hit it. But if he's on a heat, like on an absolute heater, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to say that he's not.
Yeah, and I think it too. It's, and I know we're talking a lot about a play that we're not going to recommend you play or like over or under. But I think the thing for me is like season long, I don't expect Shea to keep up, his scoring to this point. Jazz game long for because he's very unimpressive. Yeah, it's. I will say like I'm not necessarily afraid, but I think that both of these guys are fates for me at these lines. I think they're really good lines. Like I don't want to go under, even though they're super high. But man, Shea and Ja, it's just
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is a tougher matchup for Ja. I think because Shea will be on him, and I think Shea's a better defender than Ja is. He just is. I think he can really bug him, as well as Giddey too. Giddey can switch on him and bug him too. It's just in his record against the Thunder, like you said, is poor. But last 5 games, Ja's averaging of 26 shots a game. So if he's gonna shoot 27 times, he can get shut down by Shea and still trip into 30 points.
Right.
Because if he goes like,
especially if it's a close game. I mean, if this is a close game and both teams are at like 115, like Ja and Shea are probably right there at 30 points, right? If it's close, high pace, they're pushing 120s, they're probably just right up there, just by overall sheer volume and usage that we've seen from them. Yeah. All right, I peeked over here at assists. You got Dillon Brooks at 2.5. Ja's at 8 flat. Don't love that. Shea's at 6.
Yeah, flat. I kind of like Dillon Brooks at 19.5 still. It's just creeping to that line that I don't want to take, but I think he's gonna. I mean, no Bane, right? So he'll shoot 18.
Right, that is kind of the big thing.
He'll shoot a lot. He's got the better matchup. It's a 10-point discount. I like it more than Ja. I don't know if I'll play it tonight though.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good game. I mean, these kind of games are like hard to not like these guys in good like opportunities that you feel pretty safe about their usage.
Yeah, let's go. You're an assist right now, you said?
Yeah, I took a peek at assist. Yeah, Brooks at 2.5. Giddey at 5.5. Shea's at 6 flat.
Yeah, Shea at 6 flat's interesting. Let me see here. 7.3. Grizzlies give up 7.3 assists to the point guard spot. What's Oklahoma City out here? I can't find them. There they are. 7.1. Do we have a free throw line, or do they not have that on?
No, I don't think so. But we can take a peek. Why are you looking at like either of those guys' free throws or something?
Yeah, I know Shea gets a line a ton, so his line's probably high.
Yeah, especially against his Memphis team.
2.5 threes. I kind of like that actually.
I don't mind. I'm gonna quick say I don't mind either of the OKC assist guys. I'm pretty intrigued by Giddey at 5.5, and I think Shea at 6 flats a decent line. You said you're.
What do you think about? Yeah, what do you think about Dillon Brooks over 2.5 threes? He's shooting 8 or 9 threes with Bane out. Going like you could shoot 33% and still cover. Probably got the better matchup. Let's look at OKC gives up a lot of threes. Like that. The value is just all over the place too. That's the other interesting thing, right? You got plus money on some sites. You got minus 120, minus 113. So it's still a little bit of value on the under, but I kind of disagree with that.
Yeah, I think it's a good line, right? The 3 games this season without Bane, 7, 9, 9 from as far as 3-point attempts.
Yeah. Like that's it's good volume. I think
it's one of those that I think should be even value, but obviously these kind of like 3-point lines, I feel like books you just have to kind of call your like it's usually going to lean one way. Ja 2 flats, so ugly.
I like Dillon Brooks over 2.5. I'm just gonna say it. I know it's a weird one. but I'm gonna go on record saying I like it. You could probably play it somewhere else if you want,
Yeah,
better
you could these like
better odds. But
plus money.
if you're but if you're crafting like a 5 pick on underdog, I kind of say screw the books there. I kind of like that.
Screw the books.
But you can get better about Eagles.
You heard it here first.
All right. Don't come for me.
I wish. I mean, obviously, is there more you want to talk about in this game? I know, like, we kind of glossed over a lot of the points lines on the key guys we liked, but I'm cool to move on. I think
there was possibly one thing. I don't know if he's on here. I totally forgot about him. Yeah, he's not on here. Jaren Jackson.
Right. I didn't see him.
Why don't they have his lines? I was gonna look at his defensive totals, but
yeah, I think they probably just like, I don't know. He's only had one game back, right?
Yeah.
25 minutes. Oh, it's just like weird all over the place, like bad percentage.
We can keep going.
Okay. Cool. All right, going up here to the Celtics, Pels, 230.5 total. Man, when's the last time you saw a Celtics game that had a 230.5 total last season?
Just real.
It's so crazy, the shift, right? Because there hasn't even been like a massive lineup change. Obviously, no Rob Will and no whatever. All right, injury wise, Marcus Smart missed last game. He's questionable. Both him and Zion are questionable. I don't know if you have any updates. I feel like Zion is very much just a literal game time decision, like versus like a questionable with upside,
Yeah. Don't hate Jaylen Brown in this matchup. It's at 24.5. Value slightly on the under though, but I think this game is going to be higher scoring. And I like Brown and Tatum both in this one. I don't think we have underdog lines yet for this one, unless mine is trip. But I'm assuming that'd be where the grouping is here, so I think we could still probably mention it because I think once they put those lines up, I can't imagine they'd be far off.
Yeah, there are a lot of games, so we can like kind of go through, but yeah, it's looking like we're not seeing underdog. It might just be a Marcus Smart thing, him being questionable. I know a lot of times we'll still see the lines, but obviously,
I was actually kind of shocked that we saw that. Yeah, they don't have the Celtics guys either, man. It's tough.
Yeah, we can keep moving.
Keep it moving.
As always, let us know in the chat if you guys have anything you want us to take a look at. We'll just keep it rolling. Okay. Denver Dale. Luka got his rest night. It was what was it, back soreness from carrying the Mavs?
Vegas is slacking tonight.
216 total, 9-point spread. What's the Vegas is slacking?
And we got Bullock and Gordon game time decisions, but like they have no lines. Jokic is already ruled out. Like you can't give us a KCP Bones line. You can't give us MPJ line. Come on now.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
What are we doing here? You have a DFS, a Dinwiddie, and a Luka line. Dinwiddie at 16.5 though is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
With Luka back, I think Dinwiddie can still get a good amount of usage off that rest night. And even if not, like we've seen Dinwiddie cover this line along with Luka, and I think 16.5 is a pretty big drop off from where he was. He had a really poor shooting night with the night without Luka.
Yeah.
But obviously, like the usage was there. He just shot really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I like him here. I think the usage isn't going to drop like drastically. I think it'll return to what it was obviously with Luka, but I think there's more upside with Luka coming off a rest night. If they want to ease him in by any means, I think there's only upside for him to shoot more. And the matchup against KCP is a little tough, but I like that 16.5 line.
Yeah. What about we got Luka here at 7.5 assists. I think that's a really good line. I know he's not, his assist numbers, maybe haven't been what you expect from him, but still, he's still like a 16 potential. He's averaging, I think, like right around 7.5 assists. I know this game feels kind of weird, just overall. I mean, this might be, but I wouldn't I know it's a 9-point spread, and I know like the injuries and everything, but I don't know. Do you think this game is on like massive blowout watch with that spread?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't think the Mavs really feel like, from what we've seen from him, that we're gonna see massive.
Yeah, no, I I do like that Doncic line a lot.
Yeah.
Then what he's at 5 flat on underdog. I like that too. I think he had that game without Luka. He had a high assist game. So he shot really bad. I think he had like double-digit assists. Yeah, 10. 10 assists, and then with Luka 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 7, 5, 5. Like that 5 flat line is very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. So I like that line a lot. Maybe more than Luka. Yeah, man, I think I do like that more than Luka.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I think the flat line is the only thing that's kind of annoying to me, right? Like I get it feels like safer to hit that, but I feel, and I know it's obvious, right? What I'm saying is obvious, but even factoring the push, I feel safer about Luka hitting 8 than Dinwiddie hitting 6. But obviously the push makes up for that a little bit.
Okay.
You guys ever laid on Luka over points first quarter? Dude, there's some players that are what do we had? We had Clarkson first half, Brunson first half. That was a wagon, man. He just was like a lock to have 8 points in the first half.
Yeah, that's so good first half of the Mavs.
Yeah.
Luka is 1,000% one of those players, though. Like he can get you 12 in the first. The amount of times I've seen him in double-digit points in the first quarter is just unbelievable. So
yeah,
I do like that shout.
That's funny. All right, I know we're missing a lot. I'm cool to keep it rumbling. We got some fun games still. Here we've got
some fun games, guys.
Fun games. This one is a 1.5 point spread, 228.5 total. Suns Jazz, man.
Here we go.
How about the Jazz? 10-6. It's just every time I see the Jazz record, I am just like equally shocked as I was.
Do we go back to marketing? Do we really
pull it up? Yeah, I think okay. So Marketing, I do want to do a little Marketing spiel, right? I feel I like the line, right? But I think Marketing's one of those guys where like guys that are going to be at like 19.5, 18.5, he has a higher variance as far as shot volume with this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely don't dislike it. I'm going to say 18.5. I think it's a good line. It's a nice total. I do like this game. I don't think it's like an awful spot for Marketing.
Yeah, we've got Ayton at 16.5. I like that matchup a lot on Olynyk. It's just, man, the usage is a little disappointing, but he's been a bit more consistent in getting 10 plus shots. Had 14 shots against the Warriors. Only had 14, shot 50%, which is pretty poor for him. No free throw trips, no 3-shot.
I mean, is any part of you? I hate doing this kind of stuff, but I do like the matchup. Though I will say that I do like the kind of like spot for Ayton in this game.
This might be an epic Booker game. Clarkson stinks at absolutely stinks.
Yeah.
Do we have any word on Chris Paul? Because if Chris Paul's playing, I don't want to go Booker. Because that means I think Conley will be on Chris Paul.
Mm.
Man, Chris Paul or Conley and Clarkson are just night and day defensively.
Yeah.
Chris Paul out.
Yeah, I can refresh. I know we've been live for like 40 minutes, so that might have come through. I still have him as a game time decision, but I don't know if you're seeing something.
Someone said he's out. That's not a very reliable source that I'm looking at right now.
It's just like Canyon's friend from college on Twitter.
No, it's not. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else besides that. Yeah, I can't find that.
Good. I'm peeking at some of these peripherals. I'm looking at rebounds right now. 8 and a 10 flat. Bridges at 5 flat. I don't hate Bridges. Low key. I hate rebounds though. I want to look at made threes too.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah, the 3 lines are too high. And they're not on. They're not on.
Yeah.
Underdog right now either, but
okay. Yeah, we can. I think there's two games here. I want to make sure we get a chance to look at, so we can kind of roll through there, especially with the Chris Paul news. So we'll take a look at this Golden State.
Too. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you're good. I do like some of those Bridges lines more than his points. I think Bridges is one of those guys where his points lines are always going to be sketchy, just because he's just never going to be a consistent volume guy. It's just very opportunity. But he's going to play like 36 minutes, 37 minutes. He's just been doing that. All right, for Knicks Golden State, probably no Robinson again. But that's pretty much it. 234.5 total, 7.5 point spread for Golden State. I've got a couple of these like really nice total games. This is another one of those. Do you, while I'm pulling the points up here, how do you feel about this game? Do you think any kind of Golden State home blowout potential?
No, not the way they've been playing.
Right. I agree.
Not really.
It is the Knicks, but yeah.
Knicks are a bit more hot. Knicks are more hot than Warriors are.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't worry about that too much. I kind of like Brunson here. 18.5 on some books, 19.5 on most. I like Brunson's match the most against Curry or even Clay. A little worried about Randall on Draymond and Barrett on Wiggins. But
that's true.
No Hartenstein line for me.
Yeah, this is kind of I will say this is like those kind of studs. It is a tougher matchup for those guys. Like those are like two very good defenders that you are like pretty confident are just going to be like tied to the hip for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. I want to look at the peripherals here for Draymond as well as Brunson.
Yeah.
Got assists here. Draymond's at 7 flat assists. Ooh, don't love that. I was hoping it was going to be 6 flat, which is a lot to ask for, but Brunson 6.5 assists. I kind of like the under on that.
Yeah, that is very high. You can see this value is pretty.
He's hit it in the last 4 games, but again, I think this matchup's a lot worse for the guys that he's going to have to find.
It is a really nice total. I do think this could be one of those like really high scoring games, which is so weird, right? Because like we talk about these defensive matchups being tough for the Knicks, but overall, I think this is a high scoring game. Yeah, I don't know. Like I really want to like find something I like in this game, but a lot of these guys, it is like higher lines, tough matchups, or it's guys like Clay who I just don't want to play his points because he's going to try to shoot his way out of a slump, which means he is either, 2 for 11 from 3 or 8 for 11 or whatever.
So what's Jordan Poole's line at? 16.5. This feels like a Jordan Poole game to me. 16.5. I kind of like that, but it's not. Oh, it is an underdog.
I'm going to do a little made threes check.
Oh yeah, is Poole at 2.5 on there? Yes, it's probably like crazy value.
Yeah, probably not, but we'll check. As a Nick, he's gone over his line 4 out of 5 games
against Golden State. I feel like Randall plays well against Draymond. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely that is true. I do think it's one of those where like whenever I'm like betting, most of the time I like favor historic, but a lot of times I like really lean into my personal opinion about like what I could see it look like. But he does kind of like match his physicality. Yeah, Poole would probably be. You could probably get him. I wonder if they would put it at 2 flat. We're not seeing any of these lines, so it's fine. Man, I wish there was more. I'm gonna move on to the next one, but I wish there was more we could look at for this game.
But I got one.
Oh, let's hear it while I'm transitioning.
I think I kind of like Julius Randle's at 8.5 rebounds.
Oh yeah, I should check
I think
rebounds. I
that's
do like some of these.
pretty low for him. Good pace up spot, more possessions
Not a
for
great rebounding team either. You know.
right. Warriors aren't the best rebounding team. He size wise, he's bigger than Draymond Wiggins, almost bigger than Looney.
He plays bigger than Looney.
High amount of possessions in this game versus like normal. Yeah, I like the 8.5 rebound line for Randle a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah, good success rate against the Warriors as well. 16, 7, 10, 17, 13, 7. Well, since with the Knicks, he's covered this 4 to 5 times. But obviously no Brunson, but I don't think that makes too much of a difference.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna add that one to this year.
Like that. Oh, you a big list guy? I like that. I appreciate that. All right, let's take a look here. Last game of the night, Lakers, Pistons.
Hey,
battle of the 3 wins.
Let's go. Hey, 3-1-3. Pistons are 3-13. 3-1-3.
Yes, sir. All right, now we go undefeated. Did you see Casey was asked about players resting back to back, and he said our guys aren't old enough to get into the bar.
That's awesome.
So funny. But yeah, no Cade and no Stu. Those are injury related. AD, LeBron. Do you have a note on LeBron? I know he's kind of been he's been missing some games here and there.
Yeah, look at it here. He is questionable as of 18 minutes ago still.
Okay. 225.5 total, 7-point spread. Pistons, man, the Pistons were playing the Clippers really close. That was a 9-point. I think it was a 9-point spread for the Clips at home, and they were up for a ton of that game, and then just kind of late, Clippers brought it back and won that one. But yeah, with that being said, we got Bogey gets the bump to 19.5. I wonder if this is like a I didn't want to. Never mind. I was gonna say this is a Bogdanovich like Lakers tryout game. I know he was like one of those like trade rumor guys because he just would be perfect for them. He would just be such a perfect Lakers player right now. But no, he's up at 19.5 in this one. He got Sadiq at 15.5, AD 23.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, Jaden Ivey up at 18.5. I mean, no Cade, and we've kind of seen it. I get it, but he just signed a contract with Detroit. No, yeah, he did, but I think he very easily could still be moved. Like, I'm not like counting on it or anything, but it would not shock me if after this year he's not a Piston, even though it was a 2-year. The Lakers are one of those teams that would eat on something like that too.
So, I have some bad news.
Okay.
I kind of want to go under on Ivy points.
It is very high. I agree.
And I think I would think Pat Bev is on Ivy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pat Bev, compared to who else is going to be in the lineup, right?
Pat Bev all year last year against rookies did not give up 19 points or more to anybody in a game.
Yeah, the one thing that's tough. I agree. I would lean under. The one thing that's tough is just the volume we've seen from him in these games without Cade. Like he's not even shooting that great, but he's shooting like 6, 5, 7 threes, 15, 16, 21 shots. But I agree. I think this easily could be one of those decent volume, but just like horrible efficiency games from Ivy.
Which he just kind of had against the Clippers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true. There was one game against Dosunmu that he covered. That Dosunmu covered, but yeah, I'm a little worried about Pat Bev on the rookie here. I do kind of like Bogdanovich again. What's he at?
He's at 19.5. That's a good shout, Gerald. I do want to peek some of Ivy's peripherals, specifically assists. I know the rebounding numbers have been pretty solid too, but he's got that 5 flats. That's actually not bad.
Ivy's at 5 flat assists.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, 2.5.
I like it more than his points.
Yeah, let me pull something up. All right, talk to me about. Were you about to? Were you looking at something?
No, I was just looking at Ivy's assists. I still kind of like Bogdanovich.
Yeah, that's what it was. Bogdanovich
against the Lakers here. I just think, yeah, with our lack of offensive firepower, I mean, he's going to be like it's exactly what I said against for the Clippers game, right? I mean, he's just going to have to be the one that steps up and scores. He is usually with our starters all in there, and so now, especially without them, like we said, he's been a lot more aggressive. Last game, shot 18 times, only 4 of them were threes, so he's been way more aggressive. So
yeah,
if they like taking away the three does not work against him. So 26 against the Clippers. I'm not scared of the Lakers defensively either. So give me, yeah, I still like that 19 and a half.
Yeah, no,
I know
Ivy. Yeah,
should be.
Yeah,
with the people that are out.
No, Ivy specifically. I know we were talking about peripherals from an assist standpoint. 5 flat line is pretty appealing. I do kind of like. I definitely like that more than his points in this one for sure. I mean, we're leading points unders. In the 4 games without Cade, he is averaging 5 assists. Only 9.5 potential, and I think that's a little bit of a nod. I mean, he has been more aggressive offensively. Obviously, without Cade, you're going to see like more shot volume overall. But I don't hate it. Killian's pretty interesting. Yeah. I really wish. I mean, Killian's been.
I can't. I just can't.
Okay, I'm talking specifically a lower assist number. Like if Killian was at like 4.5. But I think the 5 flat is a little tough. He's at 11 potential in these games without Cade, and he is just playing decent minutes. But I agree, it's too scary.
Yeah, I also really like Lonnie Walker. In this game, he's just been shooting more than you'd think. He's covered this line very often. I'm not worried about like Schroeder coming into the lineup. I don't think he's going to be a high offensive usage guy to start right away. Especially with LeBron out, I think Lonnie Walker is going to put up, points in the teens for sure. I like that 15.5 line. We're not great defensively, obviously. And then Anthony Davis as well. I mean, 23.5, I think it's just way too low against the Pistons.
Yeah, against the Pistons.
He's not good defensively.
Right. No.
Too young to handle that.
Right.
I think it's just Davis.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a game time decision.
Right. He's on the. Is he questionable or probable?
Yeah, I'm looking at.
Because I thought it was
probable. Okay. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was more. I thought it was more positive than just game time decision.
Yeah, give me AD over 23.5. For sure.
It's the Pistons, man. It's very. We talk about it all the time. The Pistons are a team that has players who will make good defensive plays, but not a good defensive team.
Yeah, and if LeBron's not playing, AD is gonna shoot at least 18 to 20 times against this Pistons team. I would be shocked if he doesn't cover this. So I think it's AD for me in this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, you want to go through like 3 of the plays or something, maybe 2 or 3 of the stuff we like tonight? I know you had Vooch.
Yeah, I've got 10 listed here. I think I got like 4 are in one tier, the top tier probably. So let's do that. Let's put these 4 up here. So I like Vooch over 10.5 rebounds.
Yep.
Miles Turner over 16.5 points.
Yep.
AD over 23.5 points. I like Levine over 23.5 points. And then some of the other stuff we mentioned: Dinwiddie points and assists, Doncic assists, Randall rebounds. Any of those you think should make the cut?
I'm kind of torn on a lot of those. There's a couple of those that I think could be in the running for a part of that. I think Randall rebounds and Luka assists, I think, are the 2 that I did really like initially. But I think the 3, I think the first 3 that you mentioned, I for sure liked. Like,
okay. I mentioned 4. Do you want to leave out Levine points? I want to play Vooch rebounds. I do kind of want to play Randall rebounds too.
Yeah. No, I like Randall rebounds. I'm cool with Randall rebounds. Yeah, like I got Vooch. I like Vooch boards, Turner points, AD points. I like Randall boards.
Okay. Yeah.
So. Yeah, let me pull. I do want to double check. What was the? Did you have a fifth you wanted in the? Oh, Luka assists.
Yeah, Lucas is 7.5 or LaVine points at 23.5. I'm not huge on Luka assist.
Okay. Yeah, we can leave
Who
that
are
up.
they playing again? Nuggets?
Yeah, that one I think could end up being one of those. I think that's one of the bigger question mark games. Like I don't necessarily think the Mavs will blow them out, but I think it could be a weirder game, I guess, you know. I'm cool with just rolling with these four if you want. Vooch, Turner, AD, and Randall.
Yeah.
All right, we are just at an hour here, and we'll. I gotta find a better like transition message as I'm like getting the screens and stuff set up than just like talking in the weirdest voice I have in my mind.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
All right, here's the four we had. Vooch over 10.5 boards, Turner over 16.5 points, AD over 23.5 points, and Randall over 8.5 boards. I do like these a lot. I think these are in some pretty good spots. I mean, revenge narrative, Orlando for sure, and just like historically too. It's a revenge, and it's just like the 4 revenge games he's had. He's had really strong rebounding games. They're gonna need him, man.
They're gonna need him, man. They got some giants.
You think DeRozan is grabbing boards over? No, I do like this a lot. All right, appreciate you guys hanging out. Best of luck, and we will see ya in the next one. Peace out.